All right, we are recording. I am going to let Dr. Vogel go ahead and tell you a little about herself and before she gets started. Welcome to everybody. Happy Monday.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Ann Vogel, but Rebecca, how long does this meeting usually go? I always like to make sure. Becky, sorry,
Yeah,
friends,
that's
Becky.
okay. Yeah, my friends call me Becky. Usually about an hour, so 45 minutes of whatever we usually want to discuss, and then some question and answer time at the end. So you're with
Okay,
me in Central Time, so 1 o'clock we'll be done.
okay, sounds good. So I always like to just start off making sure I hold a good container for us to share things. So I am Dr. Ann Vogel, but for the next 45 minutes, hour, we're all people, humans, and is what I'd love to be called. Um, I am a family physician who was lucky enough to train at LaGrange, where Becky is the family medicine program manager. And that was back, oh my gosh, 25 years ago. Um, I still remember the relationship I had with the program manager there because you guys are our lifeline to like, okay, what rotation am I doing next? What's my life going to be like? Because you get like a new job every month or couple of months. And then you also have a life that's going on. So I just want to make sure that I let each of you know in this group how important your role is in helping care for people in this world, the doctors and then the patients. They go on and help. And I just want to let you know how grateful I am to you also. So thank you for your work. When Becky and I were talking through, and talking, I mean like emailing, I was saying, well, what do you think this group could use, for wellness? My background is a physician, but a couple, well, now it's almost 4 or 5 years ago, I took a 2-year program in mindfulness meditation because I wanted to offer more to my patients. And so I have a background in mindfulness meditation. I love yoga. I love people. I love play. So I'm really hoping that we can use this time together to pause, breathe some, play some. I'm hoping that we can, um, like all of us, when we have an opportunity to speak, because it will be some give and take, that we can speak from the heart, that we can listen from our hearts, and that we can do our best to keep an awakened, open mind as we're learning from one another. Because this is your lunch hour, I want to invite each of you to do what you need to do to care for yourself. Since this is about wellness, eat, drink. If you have to get up and go to the bathroom, do it. Take care of yourself. I know this is a protected hour for you, and I want to make sure that you're taking good care of yourself. Feel free to interrupt me. You can do that just by unmuting yourself. If there's a lot of voices that start chiming in, raise your hand if you're comfortable with that. But I think we're a small enough group that we could just unmute and talk. So thank you, Becky, for inviting me. Thank you, family medicine program managers, team members, Anna. Just so good to be invited to connect with you. So I am a family physician and a mindfulness meditation teacher. I try to bring it into the classroom. I've also worked with groups through our medical group, the residency programs. to help people learn more about mindfulness meditation, to facilitate groups so that we can show up and do our best to be present for one another. As I mentioned, Becky wanted us to do, or thought it would be helpful for this group to do a discussion time about work-life balance. And I'm really excited to talk about that and how we can just show up for ourselves on a day-to-day basis, which is so challenging. Was sharing with Becky when we were just talking beforehand. I mean, raise your hand if you feel comfortable with it, or just nod if you are feeling heaviness in this day-to-day world right now. I think for a lot of people, there's just a heaviness making our way through the day. And I'd love to create some light for us today, which is especially appropriate because it's Hanukkah season too. And of course, our dear fellow um, Earthmates in Sydney had a terrible tragedy that happened there just a couple days ago as people were gathering to celebrate Hanukkah. So there's a heaviness there. I want to just acknowledge that. And I would love for us to start off our time together by grounding, having a little grounding meditation. So this will be a guided meditation. I'm not sure, meditation gets a lot of talk now. It's going to solve all of our problems. I've shared with Becky and Anna before. I have a love-hate relationship with meditation. It's kind of like exercise where, I never regret it after I do it, but it's the startup to like, where do I find the time for it? So with that, let's start off with about a 5-minute grounding meditation. For this, you're welcome to close your eyes, turn your camera off if you want. If you've got a space and you even want to lay down, just honor whatever posture setting seems best for you. Usually before I meditate, I love to give myself a chance to get some fidgets out. So if you are like me and just find your body, oh, I'm in a body. I forgot I was in a body. Okay, remember that you're in a body. Fidget a little bit. And then I invite you to come into some stillness when you're ready. For guided meditations, I'll give you some prompts. You are always welcome to adjust. Make this your own. This is your time. Let's start off with just some cleansing breaths. I think some of you might have heard of the 4-7-8 breathing. We're going to do 3 of these to just kind of help settle our nervous system. How the 4-7-8 breathing works is you inhale for the count of 4, you hold for the count of 7, and then you exhale slowly for the count of 8. And I'll guide us through that. So come into a position where you feel like you're alert yet relaxed, whatever feels comfortable for you. Some of us, we put our hands on our lap or at your side. And I invite you to inhale for the count of 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And one last time, we're going to inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let it all out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Coming into quiet, perhaps scanning your body and noticing any changes from when we first started. Noticing that, yes, you're in this precious body, perhaps starting by scanning your brow, your face, and just relaxing your forehead, your eyes, your facial muscles, perhaps bringing just a slight little upturn to your lips, having a sense of just a gentle smile, receptiveness. I'm safe. I'm present. Coming down to your neck, noticing any tension you might have there and breathing into that. Coming down to your shoulders. One thing I find can be helpful is to just bring your shoulders up to your ears. Just really hold it there. 2, 3, 4, and let it fall. Just noticing how that feels. Letting the tension come out of your shoulders. Feeling your arms relax. Noticing your hands. Any sensations there, or lack of sensations if you're in the cold. Feeling your chest move up and down with your breath. Relaxing into your chest. Now noticing your belly, your abdomen, perhaps putting a hand on your abdomen or your belly and noticing with how each inhalation, the belly expands like a balloon. And each exhalation, the belly button moves closer to your spine, moves inward. Inhalation, expanding. Exhalation, drawing the belly button in. And do a couple breaths like that on your own, just noticing, seeing if you can relax your abdominal muscles. Bringing your attention now into your pelvis and your bottom, your base. You might be seated. And our bottom or our base can be just this great, it's like the bottom of a mountain, like holding up so much, having gratitude for all that your bottom does for you, your base, how it supports you, your spine, relaxing into that area, noticing the pressure, the connection with the chair, or if you're standing, noticing how your muscles are either tense or can you relax them? Or if you're lying down, making the connection with whatever is your support, the ground or a little table or a cot. Now noticing your thighs and your lower legs. Are they making contact with the back of a chair or a table or a couch? Noticing any sensations, numbness, tingling, temperature, relaxing into that part of your body, these legs that help carry you from one place to another, that will be with you all of your days. And now bringing your attention into your feet. Perhaps they're making contact with the floor. Can you feel that grounding contact? The steadiness, the stability of it, the energy from our earth. This floor, this ground, this earth connects us all. Notice now your whole body seated here. You're breathing in and out. With each in-breath, noticing your body enlivening. With each out-breath, noticing your mind calming. And as our time for this grounding meditation comes to an end, I invite you to once again move in whatever way feels comfortable for you. Perhaps rotating your head gently, moving your wrists and your hands, moving in whatever way feels comfortable for you right now. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes slowly, slowly. We're just turning the volume down a bit right now. So there's no rush. Open your eyes when you're ready. And you're welcome to look around your surroundings. Just notice what's going on in the room you're in right now, how you're feeling in your body. And I invite you to bring your attention back to our community group here as the meditation concludes. So I thought if we're comfortable with it next, we might take a moment to just introduce yourself. I'd love to know where you are and if you wouldn't mind sharing what your inner weather report is. How are you feeling today? How are things going? Of course, share whatever you feel comfortable with. We're going to respect that this group is keeping this all here and that we're a safe place to share it. But I also acknowledge we're at work too. So you're welcome to share, or if you feel like you'd like to pass, you're welcome to do that too. And I thought we might start off by, if there's anyone who feels comfortable taking a moment to introduce themselves, you could lead off, and then maybe we could popcorn it and you could pick the next person. Anyone feel like sharing, introducing themselves? Joanna, you want to start?
Oh,
Sure, I'm happy to. I'm Joanna Meisner. I'm from Morgantown, West Virginia, which is West Virginia University School of Medicine. Outside, it's 15 and snowy. My personal weather report is partly cloudy and warm. Was there anything else we were supposed to share?
Just if there's anything about that weather like that you wanted to share, like what, partly cloudy. I've noticed this with myself. If you feel comfortable.
I would say partly cloudy because in navigating a snow day is difficult. So as the residency manager, like knowing when to push people to come out of their houses because patients are hoping to see them, and when to say, like, if you don't feel safe, then you should stay home. So I'm giving that a partly cloudy for today because it's hard to navigate. And warm because I like my job and the people that I get to interact with. So that's what the warm is about today. I think I will popcorn it to Grace. She might not be available. Or Faye, because I can see Faye.
Hey, I'm Faye DeBard. I'm the GME manager. I'm in Eureka, California, very northern California, just a couple of hours away from the Oregon border. I would say right now my external weather is partly cloudy and been in the 30s and 40s. But internal weather is like gale force winds have been experienced. I'm anchoring and tethering myself down just to stay in place, but I still love what I do. I will popcorn it to Stacy if she's available. Not, I'll popcorn it to Trinity.
Thanks, Faye. I also just realized your background is the coffee shop and friends, so love that.
Keeping the sense of humor, yes.
Well,
Love it.
yes, as noted earlier, it is a little waterlogged here in Washington State, and I'm in Yakima, which is not in the center of the flooding mess that's going on in other parts of the state, but still affecting our county. So luckily my little condo's okay, but realize I'm very lucky for that right now. Internally, kind of gloomy, mostly because I'm getting over probably the worst viral cold I've had in like years. And so not necessarily feeling icky about work at the moment, but mostly just because I just feel physically exhausted. So just working through that and trying to pace myself during a busy time of the year. So we will see how I do. I might go home early today because I deserve that. We'll see. Let's see. Keisha, are you on?
I am here. So I am in the Hudson Valley in Rhinebeck, New York. So like I said, an hour and maybe a half away from the city. Externally, I'm freezing. I'm always cold, but there's nothing I can do about that. And then internally, I feel kind of warm. It's a good Monday. Things are moving and shaking, and I'm happy. And then Jill, if you're here.
I'll let you look at my terrible hair day just because I didn't bother to fix it. Um, Jill Frieder, I'm with the Maine Dartmouth program in Augusta, but I actually live in Leeds, which is about 45 minutes south of Augusta. So um, outside definitely chilly, but internally I'd consider myself fairly warm and calm these days. Things are kind of on a overall even keel, I guess you'd say. For the most part, I manage fellowships versus a residency. So sadly enough, we did not match with our Jerry fellowship, but we just submitted our sports medicine rank list and feeling very promising about that. I think we've got a very good rank list. So I'm excited about that. We'll find out in a month who we'll get for fellows, and I'm feeling very promising about that. So I guess that's where it puts me in that good mood of like we at least should do good with sports. So feeling good about it. So I guess that moves us on to Becky.
I'm gonna let Anna go first.
Uh,
She's sitting here in
I'm
the room with
Becky.
me, so I'm gonna let her go.
So I'm Anna Back from LaGrange, Illinois. Outside, I know it's freezing and it's gloomy. I don't know if it's sunny right at the moment. It wasn't when we went out earlier. Internally, I'm gloomy and stressed, but with this, it makes it a little easier. But I do love my job. So with meditation, I think I'm gonna get over this hump in my life. So now I'm gonna popcorn it to Becky.
Bring us home. How about that? So, yeah, freezing outside. Yesterday was sunny, so still absolutely freezing, like I don't know, wind chill 10 below or some craziness. But in like 2 days it'll be 40. So something to look forward to. Inside, I think I don't know about how you guys do this, but like sometimes I feel really gloomy and like there's storms going on. And then other times I feel like I kind of recontrol the weather and I feel warm and thankful and just very, very happy to be of service and be able to guide and help other people. So I mean, I kind of stuck between two sides of my brain, I think. Happy that I work here and happy that I have the opportunity to be part of the administration as well as um, the advising team for the residents, but then also very sad that our residents are kind of not thriving the way that I wish they would. So that's it. I'm taking it back to Ann.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, I am in Chicagoland too. And so I walked my dog early this morning and came back and my face was just like frozen raw. Um, uh, and internally, I've just gone through a lot too, just, I guess, what would I call it? Like, like when the clouds are just kind of gathered over like the lake, and a storm's about to come, like that's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm a family doctor. I love, love, love my work. However, my mom is in hospice. And so it's just there's a lot that's always with me, of course. So thank you for letting me share that. I appreciate it. One thing I noticed as everyone was sharing, at first when we're just um, faces in boxes in other parts of the country on this computer, you don't you don't see the humanity there.
Mhm.
And I just love taking a moment to like just hear like, oh, what, tell me about your story. Let me see what's going in there. And I think that can be one of the challenges about work life balance is we've got this list of stuff we're supposed to do. And I know that for me personally, sometimes if I feel like I'm running late or I have a difficult interaction with a patient, um, I contract. My life gets really small. And so, what I'd love to talk about is what we could do to manage the ups and downs in our life, at work in particular. And one of the first things I think is to acknowledge we are more than just a work person. We've all got like a lot of different components to us. And so does everybody else who's showing up in your day to day experience. And I think that's easy for us to forget about. We have no idea of what other people are carrying around sometimes with them. That's why I love opportunities like this to learn a little bit more. So I was going to ask everyone to just take 2 minutes and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And I want you to reflect on your workday, either so far or the last time you're at work. Like, what was it like getting ready for work, coming here? What like just kind of noticing, like as if you're playing a movie in your head as to like, okay, this is what my day felt like. And just take 2 minutes to remember a recent work day experience.
So many.
Noticing moments that made you maybe constrict, like we talked about, open up, moments that made you smile, angry, how your body was feeling. Is that pretty easy for people to do? I'm going to give you just a couple more, maybe 30 more seconds to just kind of think about it. And we'll bring our attention back. Just putting on the observer hat. Okay, bringing our attention back to our space here. I'd love to hear what anyone noticed, like what showed up for them for that.
I'll go first, make everybody feel better about their choices. My day today was a complete disaster, just so you guys know. Like, my morning was crazy. I have a blind diabetic dog that's 15 who is on palliative care right now. He is not responding well to his insulin, so his sugar is always super high. So he is just like a little, I call him my little pee pot because he can't hold his pee because he has to go so bad because of his sugar being high. So he just like leaves little puddles everywhere. So like my daughter told me this morning, just to give you perspective, my mom is never not mopping because I'm just constantly mopping the floor because there's constantly something going on. So like that started the day. Um, it's 10 below zero. The cold water in my sink in the kitchen is frozen. So there's that going on. So now I'm trying to find like a space heater I can get underneath the cabinet so that I can like thaw out the water being frozen because I have a 120-year-old home. Um, my husband was just diagnosed with frontotemporal lobe dementia. So it's been a couple of rough weeks in a row just because we're trying to figure out like what does that mean for us, waiting to see the neurologist. It's just everything is kind of heightened around my house. So there's like tons of stuff going on. And of course now my washing machine is frozen also. So like that's going on. And I have four feral kittens that are outside that were born to this feral mom. And I have opened up my garage to them, but I'm like constantly worried that they're going to freeze to death. Like, I just don't know um, why my empathetic soul just continues to open up to more things I need to feel, but it does. So, like, that was just kind of how my morning went, trying to like navigate all of this stuff that's going on, knowing that we were starting milestones this morning at 8:30, and I have two residents that are really struggling, and just knowing that that was going to be a stressful interaction with the CCC, going directly into an operations meeting where now all of the faculty that are in that meeting have now just went through very tumultuous evaluations on our most struggling residents. So everybody's just kind of feeling very defeated because we don't know how to help these residents. And it was a very rough day already. And we're not even halfway through the day yet. So just trying to use this opportunity that Anna's given us to turn my day around and kind of feel thankful and grateful for being able to at least experience that, even if it was cruddy, right? Being here to be present and be able to experience those things and feel things still, because that means that I'm still here, right? So Anna will go next.
I'll go next. So my day started out kind of crabby because my last week, Wednesday and Thursday of last week, was just a total disaster. Um, and I'm sorry, Friday, I couldn't bring myself into the clinic because of what happened on Wednesday and Thursday because of one particular resident bullying me for things. So I couldn't bring myself into work on Friday, so I worked from home. Um, so getting ready this morning and getting myself together, bringing myself to work, trying to prep myself, the mentality to get here, not knowing that it's not my fault, but it's very hard when somebody, knows that you're doing the best that you can and, not to get bullied anymore. It's very hard. And considering that it's the holiday season, it's the first holiday without my dad, that adds the struggle to it. But last week was the worst week of my life just because she kind of set it all up. But now I'm back here and knowing that it's going to be okay. I'm here with people that, Becky talked to me on Friday, knowing that it's going to be okay. I just have to put it behind me and just move forward and knowing that think I'm going to be okay. And this helped today, bringing my meditation down and everything. I think I'm going to be okay. Got to bring that forward. I don't recommend getting bullied, but hey, things happen.
No.
That
you bring up something that sometimes we don't feel safe at work. That can happen in the healthcare field. Mm-hmm. And everybody deserves to feel safe.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you sharing that. And Anna, I'm so sorry that, yeah.
I think people took care of it. I hope.
Yeah.
She's still starting stuff.
Given starting the milestones today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ended. I'm sure there's going to be more that she's,
ruckus is causing, but I don't think it's going to be with me. So I think that's passed. So hopefully. I just defer them to Becky now. Let them talk to Becky.
Why not?
Anyone else care to share their work experience? Good or bad?
I'm happy to share. I would say just kind of like my partly cloudy day, it really depends on what the task is. I feel definitely a bit more gloomy and stormy when I have to be involved in resident reviews that don't go well or delivering bad news. When I feel like our residents, and this occasionally happens, I wouldn't necessarily say I've been bullied, but I will say that there are some that leverage more than others for, different requests or snow days as we have here today, things like that. That's definitely the harder part, or when it's a fast-paced, moving environment, and when I feel like a lot of the other people in the mix don't have any idea how much behind the scenes work it's going to take to accomplish this or that we decide to do. And usually that's falling on me or somebody like me. So those are the stormy parts. I would definitely say for me, what makes that a better, and I can remember lots of these things even in recent days, is the success, the times when someone does something. One of our residents had a really good OB delivery this week. It was not a straightforward one and went really well, or they got their ITE scores and most of them were really happy with those scores. So, or just when they let you have a little insight into who they are outside of work. They send you a fun picture of something that they're doing, or they stop by your office and give you a big hug. Those are the days that I feel like, wow, like it kind of brushes those other more difficult things to the side. So I would say my day to day is fine. I am here in my home office, warm with the foot of snow outside. So it's not chaotic for me today. I can pass to somebody else. Is there someone else who wants to share?
I'll
Faye?
share. Joanna, I love the way you described it. It's like it reminded me, I had this total visualization after living in Florida of like the storm comes through and then we're back to sunny. And then another storm comes through and it's back to sunny. And I was like, oh my goodness, that sums up kind of where I'm at. We've had like gale force winds. So both of my coordinators have been out on extended medical leave. And so I've been covering down and working 6 days a week, 70-hour weeks. So what I was talking about, gale force winds, staying anchored. But having been through burnout before, which was total dark times, like apocalyptic type of storms, it was going into this, I knew there were some things I needed to get into place. But there's been these bright moments in the midst of it where I had a late night here, and one of my residents asked, "Faye, can I get you anything?" And they went into the resident lounge, made me an espresso, and brought it back. Just something that small little, I felt seen and heard. And I think when we think about burnout and things of that nature, we get depersonalized, we're dehumanized and everything. And it was those little moments of just they have no idea what they did, but just that little cup of coffee, somebody offering that made the biggest difference for me in that moment. And residents just checking in here and there. It's polar opposite with my faculty. And Anna, I understand I've got some bullying with faculty going on in the midst of this, working through it. I totally hear you. If I haven't experienced it with the resident, so I imagine it's different than dealing with faculty. But when I was getting ready this morning, there was a little bit of anxiousness of like, okay, what am I going to face? How many storms are going to happen? I mean, we get used to putting out the fires. That's what we do, right? But how big are those fires, and what's going to get derailed in the midst of it? But it's those little moments. There's something that you talked about getting outside of here, Dr. Vogel, that I have a mug. It's a big, huge mug. I kid you not. It's like this big. And I have a filled with goodies. And when I need a moment to walk away, I take that mug and I round in the hospital offering a treat. I walk away from my desk, away from the emails. They're always going to be there. I can come back to them. But I may be having a tough day, but somebody else is having a tougher day. Let's go make sure they're taken care of. And it gets me outside of me because otherwise I get trapped here and that heaviness just starts weighing down and that barometric pressure just like gets insane. And that's helped to get outside and make sure somebody else feels seen and heard in a moment.
Well, I have a
So
more positive thing I guess I could share. That was last week that one of our sportsmen fellows is pregnant and we wanted to throw her a baby shower, and it took some finagling to get her to the room where we were holding the baby shower. And of course, you think it's all going to go as planned, and it wasn't going all as planned. And it took some extra texting and whatnot, and a few little white lies. But once we finally got her there, she was completely shocked. We all thought for sure at this point she was completely on to us and knew something was up. Um, but she was completely surprised, and it all went off without a hitch, and it was a wonderful little baby shower for her. So it was kind of a fun little gathering, and we all had a wonderful time. So it was a wonderful little event last week. So it was just nice to be able to do that and spend a little time with everybody, because the sports med group is all spread out and they don't get to spend much time together as a group. So it made for a nice little bonding time amongst the group last week. So it was our little positive moment.
Love that.
anyone else feel like sharing?
Oh, just to say, Faye, I feel you. My rural program coordinator is out on unexpected extended leave, so she will hopefully be back in a couple months, but we'll see. So I don't have two out, thank God, but one is enough. So
Yeah, true story.
yeah. On the flip side of that, our program has been hit with so much stuff in the last couple of years that I've reached the point of just not really caring anymore. And I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll deal with it. Everyone else was panicking, to tell you the truth, when they found out she was going to be out for a few months. And I was like, it'll be fine, y'all. Like, I just like didn't even care anymore. I was like, no, we'll deal with it. Like,
I think of the scene from Emperor's New Groove where they're like tied to the log and floating down a river and they're like, waterfall? Yep. Sharp rocks at the bottom? Yep. Bring it on.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much 100%. I'm just like, well, what's one more thing?
It's like the balance between apathy and
Yes.
resilience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well put.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely, Becky.
One of my favorite meditation mentors is John Kabat-Zinn. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with him, but he has this saying that you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I hear the group saying here is that just like, whoa, these waves, they've been coming. I have to tell you, I'm really struck by and touched by how much you guys are asked to do. Like I forgot about the faculty part of it too. Like you've got so many different egos to manage. Like there's a lot of stuff going on that we're asking you guys to do at critical times in people's lives, where a lot of times people are having babies. Life keeps happening. So one thing I was just really in awe of is this group. You guys just like sharing and opening up like this. Oh, it's like a balm for me. It just really feels good to know like, okay, other people are really experiencing stuff at their home life. Becky, hearing about your husband's new diagnosis, the uncertainty of like life, it's here. And just by sharing, by making these connections, we can all lighten one another's loads to some degree. And or I think Faye, you shared about being burned out. I've experienced that too. I mean, it's so dark that what can we do to keep people from going there? It shouldn't be so commonplace. I really feel like we're at kind of, let's be the change as best we can.
I know what helped me was boundaries and getting my sense of humor back. And that was putting boundaries in all places, not just professionally, but in my personal life, because I sacrificed so much when I went through burnout before. So while I'm working a lot of hours now, I've been doing it. This will be my 11th week of working this month, and I took the entire weekend off and said, no, I've got to be, if I don't, I'm going to be cray cray before the end of the week hits. Protecting my relationships, like with my husband and my kids. I didn't look at it. I think I was so focused on protecting my job in the past. I didn't think about my relationships, and I didn't want to repeat that. So that's what worked for me. I think the other thing was, and what helps me to get out is I felt very dehumanized and depersonalized during those tough times. So it becomes a conscious effort of making sure others around me don't feel that.
That's, yeah. I feel like we gotta rename it instead of work-life balance. Let's
Life
call
work.
it life work
That's what I
because
call
it's
it.
all life. And it's just that I feel like we've got it like off a bit. Like if you're happy, if you're doing well, if you feel seen by your group, by your colleagues, if you can have a laugh in the middle of the day, oh my gosh, heart opener, right? So trying to um, find the life work balance as best you can, I think will be something that could be really helpful for all of us going forward. I want to be mindful of our time. We're just a couple minutes away from the end. Is there anything that anyone else wanted to add or share or questions?
Big thank you for everybody here having a moment of vulnerability to share, but also learn because from each other and from you, Dr. Vogel, that was great. I forgot about meditation. I need to be doing that more. And I'm saying that
Don't
as the
shit
pastor's
on
wife.
yourself, okay?
We here at my organization, a couple of PMs, we actually have it scheduled a mindful meditation around lunchtime every Monday, except for right now in interview season, but we'll pick it up right after. But I find that to be really helpful too, that we all kind of come together and do a mindful session during the day.
Love that.
We just gotta wait for Dr. Vogel to come back and do it with us.
Yeah, we'll get
I
you
would
back.
love to.
Hint,
I'd
hint.
love to. Thank you for opening up and sharing. You guys really matter. I see you and I appreciate you. So thank you so much. I wish you all well.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
don't
you so much.
forget
You
to
as well.
next Monday at noon Central Time, Trinity and I will be having coffee chat. So if y'all are interested in chatting with Gemma the Elf, you let me know.
That's me.
Can't miss Gemma. I've been waiting to see
Gemma the
her.
GME elf.
I think the blast went out from Kristen from AFMA. So feel free to just stop by. It's nothing structured. Just a hey, happy holidays. Let's have some coffee and shitty chat. So wanted to give space for people that needed to work the week of Christmas because it's rough being at work during the holidays. So we're there to bring you a little joy.
Just for fun.
Just
Hope
for
y'all can make it. But if you're on PTO, please don't join because you shouldn't be joining us when you're on PTO. Like, unless you really want to, but I don't recommend going during your time off.
Work-life integration right there.
I mean,
on leave,
we're
but I'm
very,
still
very
working.
fun, but you should
Very
also
integrated.
take time. Yeah. It's like
But if you're having coffee anyways, then get on and say hi to me.
What a great community. Thanks for letting me drop in, guys. I really
Thanks so
appreciate
much.
it.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Take good care of yourselves.
Bye.
Yeah.